Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mario here once again. And I'm Buttercup here. Hey everyone, and everyone else for that matter, and welcome back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And yes, welcome back to more Let's Play of Sonic Heroes for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC version. So last time that Luigi, Fluttershy, and Bubbles have now recently finished their playthrough on Team Rose playthrough, and despite the fact that we actually did, those three did manage to accomplish something like consist of two things. For one, they almost done a flawless run through, although the only time they do die is actually Egg Albatross like 2 times. And also they managed to finally got themselves final 2 Chaos Emeralds. So even though, kudos to Bubbles, by the way, so even though she pretty much dominated through the special stages. So yeah, anyway, so today for this episode, we're about to start things off with, we're about to get started with Team Chaotix playthrough. And we're not going to do this just by ourselves, because we're going to be doing this with other 3 characters, like, hey, I'm Knuckles the Echidna. Howdy y'all, I'm Applejack here, and I'm Blossom, and I'm the, everything nicest, I suppose. I don't know what I think about it for the time. And I was the leader of the Powerpuff Girls, so, yeah, I've heard that, we are about to decide to tackle through Team Chaotix playthrough, am I right? Yes, exactly. But even then, though, that we'll get into more details until when you 3 decide to actually go and get started with, Team Chaotix playthrough in, Sonic Heroes. So, yeah, so shall we get started there, you 2? Blossom and Applejack? Let's just say we might as well get started just about right now. So, yeah, as far as you guys should probably already know, this is going to be the last team member, segments, because after all, that, even though we will discuss more the information about these kinds of stuff, so even then though, that, we might as well just have to get things started right here. So, yeah, they all consist of SBO, Charmy B, and Vector the Crocodile. So, yeah, let's get this thing started.
What's wrong with you?
It's here! We've got work!
What?
I've heard good things about you and require your detective services. And I can pay handsomely.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
SBO, don't be silly. Besides, you know our policy. We never turn down work that pays.
Yeah, you know our policy!
Come on, boys. Let's go.
Yes, sir!
Roger.
Much like any other teams, we start things off with Seaside Hill. But, however though, the major difference was though is that the mission objective is actually a little bit different this time around. Find 10 ornament crabs.
Yeah, beach time!
Now what are we gonna do?
See. I must test your ability.
Bring it on.
Ready.
Here is your first mission. I want to test your investigation skills. Collect 10 hermit crabs.
So yeah, the major difference between Team Sonic, Team Dog, and Team Rose especially is the fact that basically in those 3 particular teams, the simple goal is just basically just to reach the end of a level in order to actually proceed to the next level. Because instead, this time around though, Team Chaotix is usually involving mission-based. Because basically, in Seaside Hill for example, that we need to actually find ourselves 10 ornament crabs. So even then though, that should able to be simple and easy missions. So, and speaking of the missions themselves, even though we will discuss more onto the extra missions until any second, so first things first, we need to actually discuss upon these character-based from Speed, Fly, and Power-type characters. So, Speed types consist of SBO, the Chameleon, so, and also for the likes of the Fly-type character belongs to Charmy B, and also the Power-type character, which was Vector the Crocodile, so. But even then, as far as I heard already, that those 3 makes his first appearance ever since Knuckles Chaotix in the really pathetic add-on game from the Mega 32X. So, but for what's what, that Knuckles Chaotix is okay, but even then, I haven't played it. But from what I've heard, it's a little bit too confusing at times. So, and also that I could have wished if Mighty the Armadillo would make a return. But even then, that sadly is not the case here, you know. So. Anyway, so with the personal experience of Team Chaotix as far as this is concerned, this is more likely very similar to how it does in Team Rose handles. Although, except the fact that Vector the crocodile right there, that he can actually perform himself his belly flop, just like how it does in Big the Cat. But even then, no, that's the only feels more likely exactly the same ability as from Big the Cat's variation. So. And as far as the extra missions, as far as Team Chaotix is concerned, depends on what stages you can be exploring on. Sometimes they usually differ every once in a while for these little mission objectives. Like, you know the regular mission in Seaside Hill, as what Applejack already mentioned this earlier? Basically you have to collect like 10 ornament crabs. If you manage to play this level within the extra mission, you have to actually collect all 20 of these ornament crabs, which is essentially more accurately the hard mode of these types of missions, but I digress.
Impossible feat. Ultimate ninja power.
Okay, so we got ourselves a fantastic A rank. That's actually a great start for this particular Team Chaotix playthrough. I almost said Knuckles Chaotix for some reason, because you kept on thinking about the 32X game, Applejack. Yeah, I'll admit though.
Here's your next mission. A Chao is lost in the palace. Rescue that Chao.
Okay, so now we move on into Ocean Palace, and the main objective on this particular mission right here, y'all, is the fact that we need to actually rescue the Chao in order to actually finish this level. So, I believe it's actually almost towards the end of the level, so basically what happens was though is that I'm pretty sure the Chao has got stuck inside the cage. So, as far as the actual mission on this level is the fact that we need to actually just rescue the Chao again, but except the fact that we need to actually be stealth. So, because basically, what happens was though, Applejack, is the fact that SBO's jump tornado attack, the tornado attack ability is actually a little bit more different than the likes of Amy and Sonic and Shadow. You still retains the tornado ability, although this time around though, it just stays put, rather than just to shift forward a bit, unlike how it does in Amy Rose's version. However, the biggest thing about this though is the fact that you can actually let SBO the Chameleon can camouflage. So even then, you can actually bypass enemies, and also that while this is happening, that both Charmy Bee and Vector the Crocodile decide to actually left out for the entire adventure. Although the only time you can actually get them back is the fact that you can either do like 2 different methods, is that you can either just switch between Vector or Charmy, or even just simply just to get hit, or even just transform back into its regular statement. So yeah, that's as far as I was going to be thinking of. So yeah, just like how it does in Amy Rose, is the fact that SBO also can't do the triangle jump, because obviously that, and also very similar to Amy Rose, that SBO the Chameleon doesn't perform the light speed dash at all. So because he's actually in the ninja skills ability, so yeah, as far as I was concerned with this. So yeah, as far as the Team Chaotix character choices when it comes to controlling these characters is the fact that, as you guys can probably already know, is the fact that I'm Applejack, so I'm going to be taking control of SBO the Chameleon, and I'm going to be taking control of Charmy Bee real quickly, because as you can see that every time we actually go near to these little purple teleportation flowers, while simply just pressing the B button, square, or X buttons, depends on what console you'll be playing, and it's the fact that you can actually hop into those little teleportation flowers while simply just move on into different sections of the level. So yeah, the thing is though, with these particular gameplay style for Team Chaotix though, on the other hand, well, we will discuss more into these little details as soon as we actually proceed to the entire game so far. Or in this case, we can actually probably just to proceed it. So there we go. That's Ocean Palace done. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, pretty cool at the same time. So let's get ourselves yet another A rank. So even then, there's a pretty great start. But even though it gets a little bit more confusing and difficult at the same time as soon as you guys are proceeding. So yeah, trust me on this. Yeah, just believe me on us from this part. So I believe you guys are now going to be doing with Egg Park for 4th and possibly the final time. So yeah.
So, you're the ones who are playing games with my army?
Sorry, just part of the job.
That's the evil genius, Dr. Eggman.
Yes, let me show you who I really am.
I knew it was him. Don't hesitate. It's Dr. Shaw.
Self-proclaimed genius
So anyways, yeah, that's actually pretty cool for that what Charmy B just actually mentioned, that he actually mentioned about Doctor Who. If you probably want the Doctor Who is actually coming from, that was actually a reference to the Doctor Who TV series. So, oh yeah, one thing you should probably mention right off the bat though is that, as you can see, I was practically doing a body slam onto Egg Hawk, so that way you should able to kill him with easiness. So, even though technically that Luigi doesn't exactly do that in Team Rose's playthrough, so that's the thing that we didn't exactly done that from before, so that should give us an A rank.
Take that, Doctor!
Yeah, I deserved an A rank, guess it is. Okay, so now you guys are now moving on into Grand Metropolis some level, so... Oh boy, I'm not a big fan of this one. Oh, what's so bad about it? You'll see why in just a moment, Applejack. You'll see why. Okay.
Now for the real test. All of you are about to enter Eggman's territory.
Not too late to change your mind.
Why do you think we're here? How else are we gonna make the rent?
Let's go!
Here's your next mission. Destroy all of Eggman's robots holding the city. Every single one of them.
So yes, if you guys can clearly tell, is that every time when you actually start the level off, that sometimes this little walkie-talkie thing starts to talk, and every time when you start the level off, is the fact that, because obviously it's, Team Chaotix is basically just a mission objective based. So this is more likely although we will discuss more into the difficulty settings until we actually just discuss on about it, until we get to the end of Team Chaotix walkthrough, so even then though, we'll have to wait and see, so yeah, in this particular level right there, all you have to do is basically we need to kill every single Eggman's robots, all 85 of them. So if you do miss only once, then you have to go, like, this is one thing that really irritates me about this for the most part sometimes on Team Chaotix playthroughs at times, is the fact that you will constantly get yourself lost in these areas, and also you have to backtrack a lot of this stuff as well as worth mentioning, so... And as a result though, however, it's really easy to actually just mess everything up for this little parts right there, mainly if you actually accidentally just bypass everything, so... Yeah, let's just go ahead and fly over there, and I should probably deserve a level up, mind you, Blossom. Oh yeah, because I can definitely tell that you're throwing back to the crocodile, and oh, we got ourselves invincibility thing. So as far as the Team Blast is concerned, differently from Team Rose and Team Sonic and Team Dark, is the fact that you can actually able to, although we can't actually show you guys for just a moment, even though we will show you guys until we actually get into the next sets of enemies right there. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves the actually I might as well grab myself a level up for SPO, because obviously I was gonna be hopefully trying to fully leveled up SPO just for a moment. So, and hopefully you guys should able to bypass these little rainbow rings, and hopefully get some ton of points in the process. So it's really worth knowing for if you want to desperately want to get an A rank on these types of stages. Now, as far as the extra mission on this particular level is the fact that you need to kill every single enemies in the level, but except the noticeable difference was though is that for what I've heard, that you need to actually beat the level with a certain amount of time limit, so this makes it a little bit more difficult and tricky, and also at the same time tedious as well. So, because as a result, that, yeah, we'll explain more into details about the difficulty setting. So, anyway, so if you use the Team Blast attack on the Team Chaotix, what's amazing about this is that you can actually get yourselves a freebie rings every time you destroy the one of Eggman's robots. And also at the same time, if you're trying to kill these robots in an instant, look how much rings we've got. We actually got ourselves 155 rings. Because what happens was though is that every time you killed an enemy, basically you get yourselves a crap ton of rings, which is probably makes it a little bit more essential and probably pretty generous with rings, and also at the same time extra lives, Knuckles. Oh yeah, absolutely, Applejack, absolutely. So, in regards to those side of things, that it's a pretty tedious mission for first-time players, because sometimes that it gets really confusing until when it gets to like, you know, the grab-a-thon type of missions. Well, it might be simple and easy at first, like for instance, for example, like fighting a Chao at the end of the level, which is perfectly fine. But when it comes to actually collecting stuff, and especially noticeable these extra type missions until when it's that time, it can get rather tedious at one point or another, so... Anyway though, so let's go ahead and just get ourselves, I believe we actually got ourselves 25 more to go. Yeah, so hopefully we can actually get that level done. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned with that, we're pretty sure do we need to get these Chaos Emeralds again, you might asking? Well, truth be told, Applejack, we don't exactly need these Chaos Emeralds crapathon anymore, because obviously, thanks to Fluttershy, Luigi, and Bubbles especially, those three have managed to accomplish our task. So, yeah, I'm really pleased about Fluttershy, and especially, I'm really so pleased about the Bubbles especially too. So, but even then, though, I will admit, though, Blossom, is that sometimes she can be a little bit too nerve-wracking at points. Or even especially noticeable that she might be a little bit of a scaredy cat at one point. Although we're not going to call that out, because obviously she will go overreacting at one point, so... Okay, so it looks like we haven't exactly got too much extra lives, I'm gonna admit, though. But even then, though, yeah. So, yeah, at least I'll give Team Chaotix particular points that gives the Team Chaotix some credit to actually gives us a pretty generous ways to get extra rings and all that kinds of stuff. So that's as far as I was going to be hoping to actually get that though anyway. Okay, so you three have pretty much got like, how much enemies you got left? You got 10 left, so... I think this particular gimmick right there is actually kind of reminds me of almost related to defeating 100 enemy syndrome from Team Dark's missions, specifically the extra missions of Team Dark's levels, so... Yeah, so I don't know what specific time limit you have to deal with in this specific mission during the action mission of this, but I'm pretty sure it might actually probably be 8 minutes or 6 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that. Although I really don't know about you, Mario, because honestly, that's all I could really should be expecting it to. So, okay, so we actually got ourselves the last 2 enemies, and the last 2 enemies are gonna be just right here. So, oh no, we lost all of our rings. Even though we could potentially, you guys should able to use your Team Blast until you actually deal with it properly. So, yeah, there goes our definition of our A rank. So,
Good job.
B rank will do.
Nothing more to be said.
But as long as we actually did that pretty well, though, Applejack, at least I might as well just cope with it, I suppose. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, as far as I was concerned about this for you, Knuckles. Okay, now you guys are moving on into power plants. Defeat the 3 gold turtle enemies.
Here's your next mission. Never through the robot somewhere that's those turtles are the city itself. I can destroy 3.
So yeah, as far as the action mission on this specific level is that you need to actually defeat all 5 of those golden turtles. So even then though, sometimes if you actually just have yourselves a little bit of a guide of any sorts, then you should be able to actually just find these things no problem. However though, if you're actually trying to find specifically 3 of them, then good luck trying to find them. Although, the first few golden turtle enemies are pretty simple to find. However though, that doesn't until when it gets to the point until you guys should be able to have some experience on the action mission of that. So, anyway, so yeah, that's all I can really say about Team Chaotix, honestly. Besides the fact that, you know, it's basically mission-based. So even then, though, some people usually complain about Team Chaotix playthrough because sometimes some of these missions are, well, it's maybe simple and easy at first. However, a lot of times, as far as I mentioned this earlier, sometimes these missions can get downright tedious at times. It mainly due to the fact that we'll get into that specifically only one level in the game that really ticks me off the most. Well, not so bad in the beginning part, because we basically play this game from time to time, so even then though, yeah. Okay, so in order to actually, okay, let's go ahead and just use SPO right there, so that way it'll actually just temporarily stun him, so that he'll easily get tumbled over. And then eventually that's, how did that get hit right there? But at least you guys should be able to get yourselves a invincibility no, not invincibility. Sorry for the lack of dialogue here, folks. But you guys have been able to get yourselves a shield, so... But hey, as long as we actually don't get ourselves the special stage requirements, because I'm sure enough we pretty much got every single chaos emerald in the game. So this is very important if you're actually just able to get yourselves all these 7 of these chaos emeralds, just like how it does in the old school classic Sonic entries. And plus, also not to mention, we need to actually complete the game 4 times, because again, it might be a little bit of a tedious at times for some people, but even then though, I think it's a perfect example that both you, Mario, and especially Buttercup as well, that you're getting pretty sick of like replaying so many stages over and over and over again. Let's just say Applejack, yes, because obviously that we already see these levels like dozens of amount of times. Like let's say considerable amount of times, considering that depends on what we actually did manage to replay this game like long time. So anyway though, are you considering trying to actually completing the PlayStation 2 version of Sonic Heroes? Let's just say no. Because, for one, that I found the frame rate is actually really chucking for the entire adventure, like 30 frames per second instead of the usual 60 frames per second, unlike the superior Xbox, PC, and even the GameCube version most likely. But, a lot of times that the controls can get downright slippery at times in the special stages, as far as I've heard from that. Which, I did demonstrate that in Special Stage 3, and no matter how many times I was successfully trying to do it, but controls really messed me up, so yeah, there's probably just the fact that the DualShock 2, so even then, that's all I was going to be hoping for anyway. So, yeah, there's another thing I was mainly trying to be hoping for the PlayStation press conference at one point. Sadly, it does not announce the new Spyro the Dragon, the HD Trilogy game, because although I was really hoping that will actually going to be happening until when it gets to a point later down this year, until when they first announce it. But it's just that they need some time, so, and plus they need to actually just to let Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy manage to come out first, so. Oh, speaking of that particular compilation of Applejack, we actually only got about 2 weeks to go until when that game is finally being released, so yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for this. Oh yeah, speaking of sus though, is that recently that me and Applejack did actually research on Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy not too long ago, when the E3 2017 was actually apparent. Apparently though, you can actually have the ability to actually play as Coco in, not to mention just in Crash 3 alone, but also Crash 1 and 2. Okay, that's pretty interesting to say much from that. It might be a little bit weird though, considering that how the fact that it makes it a little bit weird of how if you manage to beat Crash Bandicoot 1 as Coco, then you should able to actually see Tanya, or yeah, Tanya from from Crash 1, the Crash Bandicoot's girlfriend. Then you should able to be just to see how incredible how we can actually see Coco's first experience with Tanya from Crash 1. So anyways, let's go ahead and just spread out from here, and it should able to actually get ourselves, not to mention with strings, but also a teleportation device. And notice there's our second golden turtle right there, so let's go ahead and instantly kill him, while simply just either just find a switch and open the cage, or alternatively you can actually use the Team Blast attack. You should able to actually just deal with the golden enemy super easy and fashionable way. So, and at the same time we get some rings in the process. So yeah, you won't be able to get rings continuously until when it gets to the point until your Team Blast gauge can actually runs out. So, and here's our last golden enemy right there. So hey, at least we done it. Alright, mission accomplished. So I really don't know what rank we can get, even though that we did waste our time for a little bit. But even though, no, let's just see.
Awesome!
Oh, okay.
Totally awesome!
Hey, at least we take an A rank though. So much better than the likes how it does it for the B rank on that previous level. Because, we're going to be spending most of our time just wandering around all over the place. Let's just say this much.
Man, who are those creeps over there?
What's up, SBO?
And you are...
Just what do you think you're doing here?
Who's this broad?
our client's adversary, perhaps.
You mean the bad guys?
You guys don't fool me. I know what you're after. Better stay out of my way.
Okay, so now you're going to be fighting against with Team Dark. So I think this might actually be the final time we're going to be doing a versus character battle number 1.
I'll find Eggman's treasure first.
Annihilation. You misunderstand, but I doubt if they'll listen to us.
Alright, then let's do it!
Whatever the reason, if they want a buddy, I'll give them one.
So yeah, basically self-explanatory, just knock all 3 of these characters and you should be able to win. So yeah, that's all I can say about this here. So we got to end things off here, I'm afraid. So join me and Buttercup and Knuckles, Applejack, and Blossom next time on Let's Play Sonic Heroes Team Chaotix playthrough. It's the fact that we're going to be doing something a little bit different for a change. It's the fact that we're going to be doing some Gambling Fest in Casino Park. So see you guys then.